Here's what happened in Port Charles today on the General Hospital recap for Wednesday, July 16th, 2025. At the hospital, Drew assured Willow that they were going to give Michael a taste of his own medicine and beat him at his own game. Willow said she couldn't handle getting her hopes up again, so Drew said he would keep the details to himself. He promised not to stop trying until they were a family again. Aunt Stella visited Curtis at his office and told him she had a beef with him. She wanted to know why he was poking a cobra. Curtis explained that he hated that Aurora's coverage would make it hard for Laura to campaign and promised to make up for it. Stella hoped he knew what he was doing. She offered to lend a confidential ear and said she knew what it was like to be stuck between a rock and a hard place. Curtis was grateful but wanted to handle it on his own. Kai went to see Portia at the hospital and thanked her for her support. He wished the choice he had made hadn't caused her trouble. Portia asked if, given the chance to do it all over again, he would betray her and Curtis again. Kai admitted he didn't regret telling Drew what he did. Portia pointed out that Kai listened in on a private conversation in their home and used it against them. Portia wouldn't condone how Kai broke his promise to Trina. "You took something from her that she just recently got back. That spark," Portia snapped. She said she wouldn't ever forgive him for it. Portia summarized that Kai stood on his principles and fell on his sword for someone who would never do the same for him. Drew interrupted, so Kai left, looking disturbed. Portia and Drew began to bicker about Kai, but Drew clapped back at Portia's claims about morals. Drew told Portia that he wanted her to help take down Michael. Portia tried to get Drew to leave, but he demanded that she get Michael's blood sample and make it look like he was an opioid addict and ensure it could stand up in court. Portia guessed it was to take Michael's kids away from him. Portia didn't want to be involved. Drew said to do it or she'd kiss her career goodbye. After Drew left, Portia cried as she looked at her degrees and frames on the shelf and screamed as she smashed one of them to the ground. Out in the hallway, Kai ran into Stella. She wanted to get together for dinner, but he told her that he and Trina had broken up. He agreed they had a special connection, but he did something that wrecked it. Stella wondered if it was worth it for Kai. At the Metro Court pool, Jason told Danny that he was going away for a day or two to take Sasha and Daisy out of the country. Jason explained that someone was threatening Daisy's safety, and he was going with them to make sure they were okay. Danny hated that Jason was going, but understood. Jason suggested that Danny say goodbye to Sasha and Daisy that day, but he couldn't tell him where they were going. Danny said that for most of Sasha's pregnancy, he considered the baby to be a sibling, and he really liked Sasha. Jason was proud of how helpful Danny had been to Sasha, but reiterated it was best for their safety to leave. Jason tearfully told Danny that it was hard for him when his mom wanted to protect Danny, but now, seeing the man he was becoming, he knew it was the right thing. At the gatehouse, Nina told Sasha that leaving was extreme, but she said it was not safe there. Sasha didn't want Sonny's security teams and didn't want to live that way. She wouldn't risk putting Daisy in any danger, so they were leaving town as far away from PC as she could. Sasha wouldn't tell Nina where they were going. Sasha told Nina she understood why she told Rick about Daisy's paternity. Sasha knew it was to help Nina's daughter, and as a mother herself, she got that. Nina said they were cut from the same cloth, and they were alike in many ways. She told Sasha that if she needed anything, she would always be there for her. They said a tearful goodbye before Nina left. Willow overheard Isaiah talking to a contractor to fix up Lucky's cabin. He thought he left him a money pit. Willow suggested selling it, but Isaiah was emotionally attached. He wanted to renovate it and use it as an escape. "Maybe one day I'll have kids of my own and pass it down to them like Luke did to Lucky," he added. Willow said she and Drew were getting married at the end of the month. She gushed about the details, including a French wedding dress being imported and getting nice flowers. She just wished her kids would be there for it. At the Q mansion, Michael told Tracy that he didn't want to let Daisy go. He wondered if, since the custody hearing wasn't until October, and he had full custody, he could leave with Sasha and the baby and take Wiley and Amelia too. Tracy advised that putting his child first was what was best for Daisy. Although the baby might not know what he had done for her Everyone else would, and that would see him through it. Jason came home, and Tracy told him that she had seen Michael's sacrifices too many times over the years. She was worried about Gio and wanted Sonny excised from Port Charles. Jason told Tracy to trust that Sonny wouldn't let Gio ever get hurt because of his connection to his grandfather. Tracy reminded Jason of the night he defied Sonny for Monica. She said it showed he had limits when it came to Sonny and family loyalty. Meanwhile, Danny said goodbye to Sasha and Daisy. Sasha told Danny how great he was to her and the baby. They shared their mutual admiration, and he held Daisy for a bit. Sasha called him Daisy's big brother. "You're probably not going to remember me, but I'll remember you. I'll always be your big brother who loves you," Danny cried. Later, Michael sat with Sasha and Daisy and offered to hold the baby while she packed. As he held Daisy, he said he couldn't believe it was his last night with his daughter and didn't want to say goodbye. He talked to the baby about how he would go with them if he could. Sasha listened from the doorway, her heart breaking for him as she cried. Nina went to Curtis's office and told him that she wanted to help him with his media campaign against Sonny and asked to be in on it. As his ex-wife and grandmother to his grandkids, she said she had the inside scoop on shedding the worst light on Sonny. Curtis was hesitant to bring her on board. He thought it was out of character and that Drew had gotten to her. Nina folded and told Curtis that Drew was leaving her with no choice. Curtis could relate and suggested they come up with a plan to disarm Drew as soon as possible. Recalling how Nina and Drew were sleeping together, but she hadn't told Willow, Curtis advised Nina that sometimes you have to betray a friend, especially when you have no choice. Drew found Willow at the nurse's station and told her that his plan was already in motion. He was confident that if it went as well as he thought it would, they could have her kids back before the wedding. Willow said it would be another dream come true. Drew said Michael chose not to compromise, and now he would pay. And it would hurt a lot. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. Here are your General Hospital spoilers for Thursday, July 17th, 2025. Rocco made a daring move last week when he sent an email to Liesl Obrecht, a woman he has decided was once his grandmother. It doesn't seem to matter to him that Britt stole him as an embryo, and that Dante and Lulu are indeed his real parents. Rocco has to know about the woman who carried him. Apparently, Liesl was happy to hear from Rocco because she hopped on a plane straight to Port Charles to meet with Rocco and answer any questions that she could about her beloved Britta. Rocco and Liesl meet up for the first time, or at least the first time that Rocco can remember. Will Liesl think of him as her grandson, Ben? Meanwhile, Rocco's folks clash once again when Lulu gives Dante some advice that might help him forge a relationship with Gio. Will Dante listen since Lulu now seems to be the Gio whisperer? It looks like Nina did the last thing she wanted to do. She made sure Aurora printed another hit piece on Sonny, just as Tracy ordered her to do. She hated betraying her ex-husband, but didn't see a choice. Now, Nina has to face the consequences of her actions as Sonny wants to know why she did it. Considering the fact that they have become friends, Sonny is quite confused because he never imagined Nina doing a thing like this to him. Anna is not about to give up until she gets to the truth about Emma and Professor Dalton's connection. She knows it's not just a coincidence that Dalton was a professor at Berkeley when Emma was a student there, and now they are both in Port Charles. While Felicia encourages Anna to give up and focus on something else, Jocelyn plays her part as the devoted research assistant. Will Anna figure out that Jocelyn and the WSB have something to do with all of this? General Hospital spoilers report the emotional stakes are soaring in Port Charles as Jason Morgan faces a heart-wrenching crossroads this month, with whispers that he might be stepping back from any hint of a spark. Sasha Gilmore Corbin to clear the path for a shocking reunion with Britt Westbourne. The July 14th 18 GH previews teased Jason spotting Britt, presumed dead since Heather Weber's 2023 hook attack, alive in a crowd, igniting speculation of her survival or a twin's emergence. As Jason, Daisy Corinthos Gilmore's godfather, has been Sasha's rock during her pregnancy and since the baby's birth, and more importantly, since the July 4th kidnapping scare, Could Britt's return pull him away, sparking romance and leaving Sasha adrift? Jason's unwavering support for Sasha has anchored her through her pregnancy right up through Daisy's kidnapping. His belief in her fears has deepened their bond, but spotting Britt is certain to shift his focus. Their past romance, marked by intense chemistry, could reignite if Britt's alive. Perhaps saved by Liesl Obrecht, will Jason bid Sasha farewell to pursue Britt or keep his protective role torn by loyalty to Michael Corinthos, Rory Gibson, and Carly Spencer, Laura Wright? GH spoilers leak Britt's return sparks romantic hopes. Britt's comeback, whether as herself or a Caesar Faison, Anders Hove, linked twin, stirs memories of her fiery connection with Jason, threatening his bond with Sasha that many fans hope would evolve into more. If he dives into investigating her return, perhaps with Anna Devane, a tender reunion could spark romance, especially as Sasha exits stage left to keep Daisy safe away from Port Chuck. More than a few fans are insisting their heart screams, "Jason and Britt forever!" Others are begging, "Don't abandon Sasha." Will Britt's presence pull Jason into love, or will his duty to Daisy and Sasha hold him back? Jason's potential shift in focus could ripple through his chosen family. If Jason prioritizes Britt, Sasha's fragility might push her further out of focus back home. Will Jason bid Sasha farewell to make room for a romantic reunion with Britt, or will his loyalty to her and Daisy keep his heart anchored, leaving fans longing for more? Can you see him ending up torn between both? Is there any hope for more than friendship between Jason and Sasha, now that Michael doesn't seem interested in her in any romantic way? Share your thoughts with us, and stay tuned for more GH news and spoilers just ahead. General Hospital spoilers reveal Nina Reeves faces a perilous crossroads in the days ahead, teetering on the edge of betraying Sonny Corinthos to protect herself from the fallout of her schemes. Caught in Tracy Quartermain's crosshairs and under pressure from Drew Quartermain's blackmail tied to her role in the Jacinda setup, Nina will be desperate to shield her fragile bond with Willow Corinthos. With her past fling with Drew still under wraps, Nina might turn on Sonny, possibly leaking info about his clash with Jen Sidwell, to save her own skin. Will Sonny show mercy or make her pay? Nina's schemes, from hiring Jacinda to frame Drew to her hidden affair with him, have painted a target on her back. Tracy's pressure and Drew's threats could push Nina to betray Sonny, perhaps by tipping off ADA Justine Turner about his mob dealings. Her fear of losing Willow, already strained by the custody loss of Amelia and Wiley Corinthos, drums up even more panic. If Nina acts on Tracy's pressure-building request, will Sonny's history with her spark forgiveness or ignite his wrath? Sonny, battling Sidwell and reeling from the Charlie's pub fire, values loyalty. But Nina's past betrayals, hello, Nixon Falls, test his patience. A confrontation between them could leave Nina pleading for mercy from the mob boss, banking on their shared history. But with Carly Spencer and Jason Morgan urging vigilance, Sonny might see her as a liability. Will he spare Nina, remembering her love for his family, or make her face the consequences of crossing him? Will she end up just like Natalia Ramirez if she travels down a similar road, entertaining turning on the mafioso? Nina never imagined she would be in this position. Her affair with Drew is long gone from her memory at this point, but it appears Tracy's memory is rather long. She's been sitting on this, just waiting for the right time to strike. Now, she's got Nina where she wants her, and may end up with Sonny right where she wants him too. We know Sonny isn't going to take kindly to Nina, even asking him for favors or leniency, not after his experience with Natalia, and she was on better terms with him than Nina is. Will Sonny have mercy on Nina when she turns on him to save herself, or will her betrayal spark a reckoning that leaves her alone? The latest developments on General Hospital promise a whirlwind week packed with emotional fallout, dangerous secrets, and explosive confrontations. At the center of it all is Natalia Ramirez's memorial, a solemn event that rapidly spirals into chaos and intensifies tensions among several key figures in Port Charles. What begins as a moment of collective grief quickly transforms into a flashpoint of drama, reigniting unresolved animosity between Marco Rios, Sonny Corinthos, and Lucas Jones. The fragile peace among these characters is shattered, and long-standing resentments resurface in full force. Marco's deepening conflict with Sonny seems destined to lead to retaliation, while Lucas finds himself increasingly on edge as events unfold. While the memorial acts as a dramatic catalyst, other storylines are equally volatile. Anna Devane grows increasingly suspicious of Jocelyn Jax's potential ties to the covert agency WSB. Determined to uncover the truth, Anna begins a thorough investigation into Von Bryce, pushing the espionage subplot into dangerous new territory. Secrets that were once deeply buried threaten to rise to the surface, placing Jocelyn's mission, and possibly her life, in jeopardy. These layers of mystery and deception add a gripping spy thriller tension to the soap's traditional emotional arcs. Elsewhere, Sasha Gilmore makes an unexpected move that catches Nina Reeves completely off guard. Her bold actions hint at either a major shift in alliance or a deeply personal revelation that could reshape the dynamics of their already strained relationship. Sasha's collaboration with Michael Corinthos also takes center stage, particularly in their efforts to bring Daisy Clark into their circle. This budding alliance could have direct consequences for Willow Tate, who is rapidly unraveling under emotional and psychological strain. Willow's descent into instability becomes one of the week's most disturbing and emotionally charged storylines. Haunted by her cult-influenced past and manipulated by her fiancé, Drew Kane, Willow begins to engage in dangerous behaviors. Her actions escalate from emotional manipulation to stalking and gaslighting, primarily targeting Sasha and Michael. These increasingly erratic behaviors suggest a deep psychological break, painting a chilling portrait of a woman on the brink. Her mental state, shaped by trauma and betrayal, not only threatens those around her, but also places her own safety at risk. At the heart of Willow's unraveling lies Drew's mounting betrayal. Once perceived as a stable partner, Drew is now exposed as a manipulative figure whose actions, ranging from infidelity to lies and bribery, have left a trail of destruction. His secretive behavior and emotional games have shattered Willow's trust, and her dawning realization of his true nature fuels her rage. As revenge simmers beneath the surface, Drew may soon find himself in very real danger. The storyline explores the destructive cost of deceit and the emotional toll of manipulation, bringing both characters to the edge of a potentially violent reckoning. Meanwhile, Michael Corinthos finds himself entangled in a romantic dilemma that has fans deeply divided. Torn between the chaos of his past with Willow and the steady, supportive presence of Sasha, Michael stands at a pivotal crossroads. Both women evoke different versions of his emotional truth. Willow represents a past riddled with passion and trauma, while Sasha offers the hope of peace and redemption. The love triangle has sparked considerable fan debate, turning Michael's romantic future into one of the show's most captivating subplots, with themes of betrayal, psychological decline, shifting alliances, and romantic uncertainty. This week on General Hospital promises high-stakes storytelling at its best. As characters navigate moral ambiguity and personal heartbreak, the lines between loyalty and deception blur. General Hospital spoilers indicate that Sonny Corinthos could live to regret his actions now that he has abducted Marco Rios and used him to negotiate with Jen Sidwell. Sidwell will not take Marco's abduction lying down, and he would go to great lengths to get revenge on Sonny. Sidwell's retaliation could spell disaster, as Sonny would be faced with losing what he loves most: his children. Now that Sonny has crossed Sidwell using his son, there would be no stopping Sidwell now. Sidwell could target Sonny's children one by one. First, he could arrange for Dante Falconeri to get shot in the line of duty and make it known to Sonny that he was responsible. He would tell Sonny that this will stop when he sells him his peers. Dante would survive, but fight for his life at GH. Sonny could refuse to sell his peers, and then Sidwell goes after Christina Corinthos Davis by kidnapping her. He also threatens Michael Corinthos, Avery Corinthos, and Donna Corinthos, Carly Spencer, Ava Jerome, and Alexis Davis. Urge Sonny Corinthos to give in to Gen Z Sidwell for the sake of his children. Now that Dante has been shot and Christina has been kidnapped, Carly Spencer, Ava Jerome, and Alexis Davis would join forces and appeal to Sonny to stop this war with Sidwell and sell the peers to him. The lives of their children are on the line, and as mothers, they will do anything to protect them. Of course, Sonny would fight back, but Alexis, Ava, and Carly would be relentless and could convince Sonny together to give in to Sidwell. Carly would use Morgan Corinthos's, last played by Brian Craig, death to guilt Sonny into giving in. A distraught Sonny could be forced to give in to Sidwell's demands and sell him the peers. Finally, after some convincing from the mother of his children, Sonny tells Sidwell the peers are his, and they start to negotiate a fair price. In what would be a shocking turn, Sidwell would own the peers and take the reins as Port Charles's crime boss, and that would leave Sonny to start a new life outside the mob. What do you think? Do you think that Sonny will regret his decision to go after Marco? Will Sidwell target Sonny's children as a result? Will the mother of Sonny's children convince Sonny to back down? In addition to Nina facing the consequences of her actions, General Hospital spoilers for Thursday, July 17, 2025, will also focus on Dante and Lulu clashing. Meanwhile, Sonny is asked to make a sacrifice. Nina had her hate-sex fling thing with Drew before Drew and Willow got together. However, the sticky part of the situation is that once Drillo became something, Nina never told her daughter. This week, Tracy pulled that whopper out of her you-know-what in hopes of getting Nina to go against Sonny. According to GH's Thursday teasers, Nina has to face the consequences of her actions. So there's a chance she doesn't play along with Tracy's game, even though she said she would. Or she finally decides to tell the truth on her own. Consequences be damned. Or maybe it's not about her sleeping with Drew. Maybe it's about her role in drugging Drew, resulting in his wild, out-of-control night at the Savoy with Jacinda. Drew has payback on his mind. He also has playing Willow's savior on his mind. He is going to make sure he takes down Michael, Nina, Portia, Curtis, and anybody else who stands in his way of getting Amelia and Wiley back for Willow. Dante and Lulu have not been on the same page much since she woke up from her coma. When Dante and Lulu clash, this could be about Rocco and how he found out about Britt giving birth to him. Dante may have confronted Brooklyn over her role in his son discovering this monumental fact about his life. But he didn't seem to stay mad at her, not like Lulu has. Is this the topic of discussion as they clash? Because Lulu doesn't like it when Dante shows sympathy for Brooklyn and doesn't muster up the same energy for her. Meanwhile, Sonny is asked to make a sacrifice. Does Tracy catch up to him and ask him to distance himself from his grandson? She's on a mission to keep Gio from becoming a casualty of one of Sonny's wars. When Anna hits the nail on the head, is Professor Dalton the focus of her thoughts, or is it Vaughn? If you recall, she's super suspicious of how unmessy Vaughn is. His record is squeaky clean, and he seems too perfect. Her intuition is telling her he's a spy. Question: does she start thinking about Joss in all of this, considering she has been spending so much time with the guy? Or is this just about protecting Emma and keeping her out of the fray? Speaking of Joss, look for her to spring into action. Again, Dalton is the one she's investigating. Maybe this is the day she finally gets into his labs to see what he has been up to. General Hospital spoilers reveal Jason Morgan's simmering rage against Drew Quartermaine is about to reach a boiling point, fueled by Drew's web of lies that is tearing apart the lives of everyone Jason loves. Rumor has it Jason is about to discover just how many manipulative schemes Drew has been cooking up, such as paying a nurse to lie about Michael Corinthos rejecting Willow Corinthos in Germany. It is guaranteed to have him ready to explode. With Willow still tied to Drew's toxic orbit, speculation is rife that Jason might leverage a bombshell confession to force Drew out of Port Charles and away from Willow. Could Jason keep Drew's darkest secret, his fling with Nina Reeves, under wraps if Drew agrees to leave? Or will he spill it to shatter Willow's world? Jason's fury, sparked by Drew's betrayal of Michael and Willow, is likely to be palpable once he realizes what his disastrous twin has been up to. Newfound knowledge of Drew's affair with Nina, which overlapped with his involvement with Willow, could give him leverage to issue a stark ultimatum: leave Port Charles and Willow, or face exposure. Jason's loyalty to Carly Spencer and Michael will drive his resolve. If Drew agrees to go, perhaps in a heated showdown, will Jason keep the fling secret to protect Willow, or let it slip to ensure Drew's ruin? Drew's desperation to cling to Willow, despite his crumbling engagement and schemes like blackmailing Dr. Portia Robinson, makes him a wild card. If Jason's threat pushes him to leave, Drew could try to salvage his image by exiting quietly, or further manipulating Willow by cluing her in on the whole mess and convincing her anything Jason says is all lies. But his defiance might lead him to double down, risking Jason revealing the Nina affair to Willow. If that truth hits, will Willow ditch Drew or cling to him, blindsided by betrayal? Can Jason's gambit force Drew out without collateral damage? Would it possibly come down to Nina having to tell the truth or lie to keep her own relationship with her daughter? Jason's choice to hold or spill Drew's secret could reshape Michael's family dynamic. Keeping quiet might spare Willow pain, but strain his bond with Carly if she learns he withheld it. Exposing Drew could free Willow but spur chaos, with Nina's role complicating everything more. While some GH fans are cheering, "Jason, make Drew leave," others are warning, "This secret will blow up." Will Jason's threat force Drew out of Port Charles and Willow's life? Or will his silence on the explosive confession spark a bigger fire? Stay tuned for more GH news and spoilers to see how this plays out. Hello, General Hospital fans! Get ready for a fall season that will rock Port Charles to its very foundations. From heartbreaking family secrets to the potential return of both heroes and villains, the drama is about to reach an all-time high. The biggest news is the arrival of daytime legend Erica Slezak, who will make her highly anticipated debut as Katie, the never-before-seen sister of the late, great Monica Quartermaine. Her arrival isn't just a tribute to the beloved character, it's the catalyst for a stunning revelation that will redefine the Quartermaine family forever. Spoilers reveal that Katie will deliver the devastating truth about Monica's final days. She was secretly battling Alzheimer's disease. This poignant storyline explains Monica's absence and provides closure for her character in a grounded, realistic way. We'll learn through emotional flashbacks that Katie spent months as Monica's sole caregiver, making the ultimate sacrifice to protect her sister's dignity. This bombshell will have a profound impact on Jason Morgan, who must grapple with the guilt of not knowing his adoptive mother faced her final battle alone. As the Quartermaines reel from this news, a darker shadow looms over Port Charles. Fans are speculating that the infamous Victor Cassadine may not be as dead as we think. The clues are mounting. A mysterious and impatient investor is funding Professor Dalton's sinister lab experiments, and his ruthless intermediary, Jen Sidwell, seems terrified of him. Could this unseen puppet master be Victor, pulling the strings from his ancestral home of Windermere? With Victor's history of cheating death through diabolical science, his return would spell unparalleled danger for everyone in town. Meanwhile, fans who are devastated by the recent deaths of Sam McCall and Dex Heller may have reason to hope. A powerful theory suggests their demise was an elaborate hoax orchestrated by none other than WSB agent Jack Brennan and Cyrus Renault. The motive? Brennan wanted to remove the protective Dex to recruit a vengeance-fueled Jocelyn into the agency. Sam, a brilliant investigator, was likely seen as another threat to be neutralized or forcibly recruited. It's possible that Sam and Dex are currently being held in a secret WSB facility, forced to use their unique skills for covert operations. In the world of soaps, death is often just a temporary setback. A miraculous return for these two fan favorites would not only bring immense emotional reunions, but would also blow the lid off a massive conspiracy. Hold on to your seats, General Hospital fans, because Port Charles is reeling from a series of bombshells that have irrevocably altered the lives of our favorite residents. From a return that defies death to a shocking parentage reveal and a web of deceit that has claimed its first victims. The drama has reached a fever pitch. Just when we thought we had said our final goodbye, Sam McCall has miraculously returned from the dead. In a stunning twist, it was revealed that Sam faked her demise to operate from the shadows, gathering evidence on the city's most dangerous power players. Her dramatic reappearance came at the perfect moment, as she swooped in to rescue Marco Rios, an innocent attorney kidnapped by Sonny Corinthos amidst his escalating war with criminal mastermind Jen Sidwell. But the rescue was just the prelude to the main event. Sam didn't just save Marco's life. She dropped a truth bomb that shattered Sonny's world. Armed with irrefutable DNA evidence gathered during Marco's captivity, Sam revealed that Marco is not Sidwell's son. He is Sonny's. The revelation stems from a brief, forgotten encounter between Sonny and Marco's mother, Natalie, decades ago. Sonny, in his quest for vengeance, unknowingly kidnapped and terrorized his own flesh and blood. The fallout from this revelation promises to be explosive for everyone involved. Meanwhile, another storm is brewing around Drew Kane, whose manipulative games are finally coming to light. While his fiancée Willow Tate has been blindly loyal, Drew's underhanded schemes, including actions that led to Willow losing custody of her children, are piling up. The ultimate betrayal, however, may be the clandestine affair he engaged in with Willow's own mother, Nina Reeves. How will Willow react when she learns the man she trusts has been sleeping with her mother behind her back? Some whispers suggest Willow may be tapping into the dark, vengeful nature of her infamous twin, Nell Benson, and when she finally turns on Drew, the consequences will be severe. Drew's influence has already created devastating ripple effects. His web ensnared young Kai Taylor, whose budding romance with Trina Robinson has been tragically cut short. Acting on what he believed was good advice from his mentor, Drew, Kai revealed a secret plan of Trina's family member, Curtis Ashford. For Trina, whose loyalty to her family is absolute, this was an unforgivable betrayal. She ended their relationship in a heartbreaking confrontation, leaving Kai utterly devastated. With his relationship in ruins and no ties left in Port Charles, a heartbroken Kai has accepted Drew's opportunistic offer, an internship in his Washington, D.C. congressional office. As Kai packs his bags to leave town for good, it marks a sad end to one romance and another victory for Drew, who continues to manipulate those around him for his own gain. What do you think, GH fans? Can Sonny and his newfound son ever build a relationship? And is Willow about to unleash Nell-level vengeance on Drew and Nina? Stay tuned, because the drama in Port Charles is just getting started. The upcoming episode of the Peacock soap opera Days of Our Lives, airing on July 17th, 2025, shows that Gabby's biggest fear is coming true. After a lot of stress and close calls, things take a serious turn when she finds out that her daughter Ari never made it to the lake for her class trip, and neither did Holly. Their sudden disappearance leaves Gabby in full panic and shakes up the whole town. As the story continues, Gabby asks Rafe for help, and Tate is sure Doug is to blame for the girls going missing. Holly and Ari are actually being held at gunpoint by a criminal whom Doug owes money to, making the situation even more dangerous. At the same time, Johnny gets ready for his trial, and Sophia struggles to keep her fake pregnancy a secret as her lies start falling apart. Previously on Days of Our Lives, people thought Gabby was overreacting when Ari sneaked out after coming home. But now things get much more serious when Gabby learns that Ari and Holly never made it to the lake or met up with Tate like they were supposed to. With no word from either girl and the school saying they're missing, Gabby fears something is really wrong and turns to Rafe for help. Gabby and the others on Days of Our Lives have no idea that Ari and Holly have been kidnapped by Richie, the criminal Doug owes money to. This trouble has been building for a while, ever since Doug's bad choices started causing problems. Now, because of him, two young girls are in serious danger. But Holly and Ari stay brave and start planning a way to escape all on their own. Tate on Days of Our Lives has been suspicious of Doug for a long time and blames him for many of the problems Holly has faced. So, when Holly goes missing, Tate is sure Doug is involved once again. He gets angry and confronts Doug, demanding the truth. Doug starts to break under the pressure, and this may finally be the moment he admits what he did. But time is running out. While Tate is busy trying to find Holly on Days of Our Lives, Sophia is making up a new story to fool Amy. She wants Amy to believe she already had the baby and gave it up for adoption. Sophia and Melinda came up with this plan to hide the fact that she actually gave birth weeks ago. But Amy is starting to get suspicious and more protective. She may soon figure out the truth about what really happened the night Sophia went to the movies and everything that followed. Johnny is about to go on trial on Days of Our Lives for shooting EJ, and both EJ and Belle have strong feelings about it. EJ wants to choose the perfect jury to make sure Johnny doesn't get convicted. Belle also wants to protect her nephew, but since she's the district attorney, she has to be careful and follow the rules. As they get ready to pick the jury, the pressure grows as personal and legal issues clash. The July 17th, 2025 episode of General Hospital is set to lay the groundwork for an intense mix of personal truths, confrontations, and new alignments in the coming summer stories. Several characters will reach a tipping point. Jason Morgan will show an unexpected moment of connection with Sasha Corbin during a trip, and Anna Devane will continue her investigation with a theory that will impact a multitude of residents in Port Charles. Lulu and Dante will come to blows over the role Brooke Lynn played in the recent family drama, and Rocco will go looking for answers from someone he has been quietly hoping to have a conversation with. Sonny Corinthos will start to distrust all of those around him, trying to get him out of the way, and Nina Reeves will deal with the repercussions of a betrayal she never saw coming. Sasha Corbin will be on a plane with Jason Morgan and Daisy Gilmore, allowing them to have a private talk. During the flight, Sasha will ask Jason if he ever thinks about himself. She will try to move Jason beyond his protector, problem-solver role and consider what that means for his happiness. This conversation could be a turning point in Jason's life, as he will encounter someone at the airport who looks remarkably like Britt Westbourne, which may trigger memories he is not yet ready to relive. Anna Devane refuses to listen to Felicia Scorpio's request to abandon the current investigation. Instead, she will ask Felicia for help and continue to gather information. Anna will think Vaughn is connected to the WSB, and that he isn't just a spectator to what he saw with Jocelyn Jacks. Since Jocelyn is working for Professor Henry Dalton, Anna will ponder if Jocelyn is the intended target, or perhaps something else is afoot. She is beginning to formulate a theory, and it appears Jocelyn could be a part of it, or could be caught in the crossfire of a bigger picture. Dante Falconeri and Lulu Spencer will clash when it comes to Brooke Lynn Quartermain's role in the events surrounding Britt Westbourne and the way the revelation impacted Rocco. Lulu will accuse Dante of being a pushover and urge him to think about the emotional damage that's been done to their son. Lulu will go as far as to offer Dante ways to rebuild his relationship with Gio. Perhaps that's also to do with how close he chooses to remain with Brooke Lynn. After the action off-screen, Rocco Falconeri will finally meet Liesl Obrecht, suited up and hoping for clarity. Liesl will arrive as promised and be honest, and Rocco will find a way to process a bit of the confusion and the emotions tied to the chaos pointed at Britt and his family. Their conversation may shed light on truths that could enable Rocco to start the healing process. Sonny Corinthos will hold Curtis Ashford accountable for some unfortunate social media posts and growing rumors. Sonny will demand the truth and possibly be faced with a difficult dilemma, whether it will involve his public life or the choice he must make regarding Marco Rios's life. Meanwhile, Nina Reeves will start to comprehend that Curtis really used her past with Drew Kane as a pawn. This revelation will leave Nina reeling as she comes to terms with the fallout from her previous secrets coming to light. Today on GH, a clean-cut Rocco may get the information he wants. Anna needs a favor, and Sonny needs confirmation now. The General Hospital Spoilers video preview for July 17, 25, focuses on Professor Dalton updating his summer lab assistant. Meanwhile, Lulu advises Dante and Rocco has an important sit-down. While Felicia warns someone, "You have to drop this now," the next part of the tease cuts to Anna saying, "I have a favor to ask." Are Anna and Felicia talking to each other, or are they talking to two completely different people? Regardless, it feels like Anna isn't going to let up on this whole Vaughn and Professor Dalton business anytime soon. Speaking of the mysterious professor, he lets his summer assistant know that the exciting work is going to start soon. Internally, Joss must be figuring out the next steps to secure intel from his lab for the WSB. While the daily teasers suggest that Dante and Lulu clash on Thursday, The promo features Lulu giving her 2 cents to her ex-husband. "Do that, and you might have a chance at getting your son back," she strongly advises. As for Dante's other son, Rocco, he's looking all fancy to meet someone mysterious, most likely Liesel. "You came," Rocco says, sounding relieved. Sonny poses a question to someone off-screen. "Why did you lie to the press about me?" he asked. "Could this be Nina? Tracy got to her and blackmailed her. She might have followed through on using her considerable media presence to help drive Sonny out of town." Finally, Sasha and Jason look like they're on a plane taking Sasha and Daisy to parts unknown, far, far away from Danger and Michael. Sasha poses her own question. "Do you ever stop to think about what you might want?" How will Jason respond?